Mira was a woman brimming with dreams and ambitions. She had married the man she thought was her soulmate and became a devoted wife and a loving mother to two beautiful children. Her life was a constant whirlwind of activity. She worked tirelessly, not just to care for her kids and manage their home, but also to support her husband financially. In fact, she often earned more than him, all while juggling a full-time job and the endless responsibilities that came with being a mother and a wife. In the beginning, their life together felt like a smooth, happy journey. Mira never complained, always putting her family first, and on the surface, everything seemed absolutely perfect. But as the days turned into months, a subtle change began to creep in. Mira noticed her husband was coming home late more and more often. His excuse was always the same: extra work at the office. Through it all, Mira remained focused on her dream. She quietly and diligently saved every penny she could, envisioning a beautiful home where her family could grow and be happy together. She pictured her children playing in a yard of their own, a safe and loving space she had built for them. One day, filled with pride and excitement, she announced the wonderful news to her husband. She had finally saved enough money to buy their dream home. He appeared thrilled, his face lighting up with what she thought was shared joy. He suggested they buy the home together, asking her to hand over the money so he could handle the purchase. Overjoyed and trusting him completely, Mira gave him all of her life's savings without a second thought. She believed they were finally on the cusp of the perfect life she had worked so hard for. But soon, her world began to crumble. Her husband told her he had to leave for another city for a month for a work project. A month passed, then another week, and he never returned. Her calls went unanswered, and a growing sense of worry slowly twisted into sheer panic. A cold dread settled in her heart. Desperate for answers, she contacted one of his friends. The friend, perhaps feeling a pang of guilt, reluctantly gave her an address in another city where her husband was supposedly living. With her two young children in tow, her heart pounding with a mixture of hope and fear, she traveled to the address. She knocked on the door, and it was opened by a beautiful young woman who looked at her with disdain. "Why are you knocking at my door?" the woman asked rudely. Just then, her husband appeared behind the woman. The man she loved, the father of her children, looked at her with cold, empty eyes. "I sent the divorce papers 2 days ago," he said, his voice devoid of any emotion. "I never want to see you again." The world stopped. Shocked and utterly heartbroken, Mira stood there silently, her children clinging to her legs, their innocent eyes wide with confusion. She felt a profound emptiness as she stared up at the blank, unforgiving sky. All her dreams, all her sacrifices had shattered into a million pieces. But Mira was not a woman who would stay broken. She was strong. She gathered her children, returned home, and wiped away her tears. The pain was immense, but so was her resolve. She channeled all her grief, all her anger, all her shattered hopes into her work. By day, she poured her energy into her job at a company. By evening, she sat at her sewing machine, stitching clothes tirelessly, her hands moving with a determination fueled by love for her children. Every stitch was a promise to them, a vow to build a better life from the ashes of her old one. Slowly but surely, her incredible talent and unwavering dedication began to pay off. Word spread about the beautiful clothes she created. Her designs were unique, her craftsmanship impeccable. She became well known in her community, and soon, she was able to open her very own boutique. It was a small but significant victory, a symbol of her resilience. With her business flourishing, she finally bought that lovely home she had always dreamed of, not with a man who betrayed her, but on her own. She enrolled her children in good schools, and for the first time in a long, long time, genuine happiness returned to their lives. Their home was filled with laughter and love, a sanctuary she had built with her own hands. Then, one day, he came back. Her ex-husband, looking older and worn down, stood at her doorstep, hoping to be welcomed back into the life he had so carelessly thrown away. Mira looked at him, but she didn't say a single word. There was no anger, no hatred, just a quiet finality. She looked up at the sky, a silent acknowledgement of how far she had come. Then, she took her children's hands, turned around, and walked back into her home, closing the door behind her and leaving him in the past where he belonged. It was only then, standing alone on her doorstep, that he truly realized the magnitude of his loss. He hadn't just lost money or a house. He had lost everything that truly mattered: the trust, the love, and the beautiful life he had once taken for granted. The moral of this story is that true strength and success are born from perseverance, self-respect, and dedication. Life can hand you devastating betrayals, but your own resilience and hard work can build a future so bright that it outshines any darkness from your past. The power to create your own happiness is a force that no one can ever take away from you. If you found this story inspiring, please comment below and let us know which country you're watching from. We love hearing from our global community. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that touch the heart.